Welcome to the official first video, first podcast that I'm actually bringing you guys. I did one yesterday, but I recorded for like 45 minutes. And then towards the end, when I wrapped everything up, I realized that it was I was never even I was recording, but I didn't have the audio or anything connected. I was looking for the pieces to connect. It was a mess. But welcome, guys. My name is Rich. You guys can call me. Well, my name is Richard. You guys can call me Rich. I decided to do this podcast kind of. Actually, hold on. Let me go through my notes real quick. So, because it's my first one, so I kind of started organizing it a little bit. All right. As far as like to be able to talk to you guys a little bit about myself. So, once again, my name is Richard. Pretty much who I am is I'm 29 years old. I'm hold on. Keep forgetting that the music. 29 years old. Pretty much what I am. What's going on, guys? My name is Rich. This is my official first podcast that I'm bringing to you guys. Hopefully, I'll get to connect with a lot of you guys. I got a few notes here that I want to go over with you guys just to kind of give you an overview of really what I'm trying to bring to the table. So for starters, my name is Richard Chikaisa. You guys can call me Richie Rich. I'm 29 years old. Just turned 29 years old. I am in finance. Well, I do like small business lending currently. And this is just something to get me out of my comfort zone, something to distract me from that industry. I am looking to go into different ventures and explore different opportunities for myself and things like that. I've been doing a lot of research here on podcasts. I tend to have a pretty cool personality, but pretty much what brings me here is I'm looking to step out of my comfort zone. I'm looking to pretty much, again, use this to not only step out of my comfort zone, but just create a hobby. And from this hobby, if I end up making some money off of it, great. If not, again, it's just something that I'm just trying to put out there to distract my mind a little bit. If you hear that, that's because I am recording this from my apartment, which just happens to be right outside from where the garbage disposal, well, not where they put the garbage at, and then they come and pick it up. So it's the garbage area. So it happens every morning. It is pretty annoying. Typically, I'm not here during these hours. Usually, like at work and stuff like that. So I don't really hear it unless it's like on a weekend. But yeah, don't ask me why I got it. I didn't even realize when I came in it was at nighttime. I didn't realize that it was that they were gonna be taking out the garbage and stuff outside of the, literally right outside of my second bedroom. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm pretty much just looking to use this as a platform for myself, just to voice out my opinions, how I feel, how I think, connect really with people, step out of my comfort zone. I could be really, really shy at first, but unless you know me, then you'll be like, nah, bro, he's not like that at all. You know what I mean? But if you don't know me, I can be pretty shy, very quiet to myself. And like I said, my purpose here is really just to connect with my viewings. If I get fans, if I get followers, I'm just looking to connect with you guys. Chop it up, talk about different topics. I want to really base this podcast around pretty much like healthy habits, which is like a primary thing that's always been important to me. Music, which is one of my biggest therapies. I love listening to music. So I'll usually have like I'll have like tunes playing in the background for you guys, because DJing and throwing parties is kind of like a secondary hobby that I've been wanting to pick up. I kind of got set up a little bit already with the basics, thanks to my cousin. he helped me out with like getting some equipment and kind of just like setting me up with like some beginner stuff to really start, trying to get this down packed. Um, Food. I want to discuss food. I want to discuss different places to go eat. Different. I'm. I don't know if the right word is multicultural, but I love dishes from all types, from everywhere, from all types of cultures all around the world. It's just been always one of those things that I just like really really enjoy, and I feel like I can connect with that culture, with the culture pretty much that does it. You know what I mean? There's, by the way, a lot of cultures that I haven't been able to tap in yet, as far as like food wise, for not really going at it like full throttle. But also individual work. I want to talk to you guys about kind of like, and maybe you guys can help me. I can help somebody out there as far as like individual work and growth, and just like again breaking out of that shell. Like for example, doing something like this for me is very uncomfortable because it's not in my comfort level. You know what I mean? I not gonna lie, I've always been a little bit on the always like didn't really like stepping out of my comfort zone, but it was mostly because of like people laughing at you or like the doubters and stuff. And I'm at a point where honestly now I'm just like, oh fuck it, you know what I mean? Like F it, what, you know what I'm saying? Like what's gonna happen? You're gonna make fun of me, you're gonna be watching me, you know what I mean? So I guess that will add to the views. Um, just like individual work, not only it could be in any types, whether career wise, whether personal wise, relationship wise, you name it. Bring ideas to me too, and then also education and research. I found over the last couple of years, I mean, I've kind of like lacked additional education, and mostly just me being lazy, not reading, being very comfortable, and I'll give you guys a prime example with it. One of those is just like basic things like this with like this setup. You know what I mean? Um, where it's like, um, I didn't even know how to connect this, so I had to reach out to my cousin for him to like kind of teach me, and then like it kind of got me into the space of like wanting to explore more and like figure out where, how to like have all these, I guess, equipment connect with each other and things like that. Uh, Give me one second. See, it's like little things like this that I'm still trying to pick up. Like, for example, there we go. Ooh, much better. Much better. Yeah, much better. Okay. Yeah, like the lighting and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So. Perfect. 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 All right. So where were we? So I mean, education and researching. I mean, is one of the things that I kind of want to like bring to the table as well. Educate myself, maybe learn about different topics. So this way, out off the record, I can just go and just like research it on my own and just like figure out like more information about it, and maybe I'll come back with some information that you guys didn't know. Um, and I want to talk about cool things. I want to talk about oh, did I skip experiences? Yeah, because I said health, healthy habits, music, experiences. I want to be able to connect with you guys and learn as far as like different experiences that people have gone through, whether they're good, bad, whether it's like a story. Um, so I want you guys to maybe, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Either write to me, maybe we can connect. I'll figure out how to do like this whole connecting, connect the phones or something like that. You guys can tell me a story, something, wow, maybe also trips, recommend like some getaways or some trips that I want to be able to travel a little bit more and things like that. We went over the individual work part of it, and pretty much education and research, one of the main things that I left that one for last because it is one that I definitely want to stress out most. And the main things that I want to, I guess, kind of really learn from it is I want to be able to talk to people in positions, preferably, but I mean, I'm open to anybody because you can learn things from everybody. But I would rather, I would want to, learn things from people in certain positions to really give the breakdown of how things work. Like for example, I feel like I watch a lot of podcasts sometimes, or a bunch of like videos, and it's like giving people free game or whatever how to like do things, but they really don't get down and like step by step by step. I feel, they give you like an overview of like, oh, what to do, but I want to really like ask these questions of like, okay, for example, like if you get a restaurant, like just throwing something random, right? Restaurants, and the reason why I bring it up is because I've always had like this idea of like having like a restaurant with like a bar and like a cool place where people can come and hang out and things. But it's like, okay, what are the steps? What are the, because people tell you, oh, you need a business plan, you need a business plan. But for example, somebody like me that has no sort of background in that field, it's like, okay, how do you get started? You know what I'm saying? And there's people that, for example, own construction companies or have, let's say, I don't know, have businesses that they don't even know what the heck they're doing. They just know how to operate it. So things like that is kind of like the things that I would like to, because again, this isn't just for you guys. This is mostly also for me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm putting the content out there, which I know is going to be beneficial, but I want to do it for myself as well. And I feel that at a certain, like I'm 29, like I said, so like reaching 30, it's like I'm looking for a change. You know what I'm saying? I'm very grateful for everything that I have. I mean, I'm one of those persons. I'm a big. I can get easily unmotivated, and I can be put in a really dark mental space and very negative space, very fast. And it's one of the things that I'm working on. And right now, one of the things that really helped me out, that I would say is like listening to music. Well, let's start with this because back in the day, right, one of the ways that I would really cope with it is, and I'll get really deep down into it is, I would find, I was in the auto industry, right? Pretty stressful industry as well at times. I mean, not much money, this, that, and the third, whatever. And I was young at the time. I was younger at the time, and coming from, um, I don't want to say coming from where I come from because it's like I don't want to make it sound like, oh man, we're coming from where I come, but it's more like, come as I was growing up, I was exposed to, or not exposed, but just I found myself in certain situations where, partying, drugs, liquor was a big thing, not a big thing, but something that was done, and it just became part of life, and that's how I would kind of deal with my stress, and it was more like work Monday to, let's say, car business you work on Saturdays, but let's just say work Monday to, whatever, and my days off, I would pretty much just the way that I would use those days off is I would pretty much just get lit. You know what I mean? And I was pulling up. I would go get lit every day. I got to a point where I was getting lit every day and things like that. And I know, I'm jumping right into it, but not to sidetrack from what I was saying was, I was coping with it in with more negativity. So I was using substances, I guess, right? I mean, we'll get into that later on. I'll leave that up to your imagination, but don't get crazy. Um, I was using this stuff to for a form of, I guess, like a mechanism of like an escape and stuff, and just wasn't working. I did it for years, and now, that I'm prioritizing health, because I've always like prioritized health and things like that, but it was pretty contradicting because it was always like a roller coaster battle with it. You know what I mean? It was like one of those toxic relationships where it's like you're good for 2 weeks and then you're fighting. You know what I'm saying? So picking up healthier habits. So like something like this for me right now is I'm considering it therapeutic. It's a healthy habit. Don't get me wrong. We will be doing things on this podcast that some may be like, hey, yo, but or may sound contradicting, but I want to be as transparent as possible with the audience. Um I want to be as transparent as possible with the audience, just so that you guys can really get to know the real me. Cause I don't really like, I don't like hiding nothing. You know what I'm saying? Things that are still yet to come is I have to. So like I said, I want to be able to do these DJ gatherings, and what I want to do them like intimate. So my main plan is to pretty much just have like an Instagram page, for example, and my following will be, let's just say, whatever following I gather from them, you guys can join me. I would love to do them in like different places, like it could be beach or forest, and I'll pull up with this bad boy right here. I ain't gonna lie, this shit will have the party jumping. And just like things like that, you know what I'm saying, like, and just like pull up to different cities, and I really want to create like a following. And again, I'm bringing my vibes, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, and you guys are gonna see, because I'm always gonna have like tunes and things like that playing in the background. And excuse me if I mess it up, just because I'm learning this stuff here, so I'm still like all over the place with it. But do things like that. I mean, I want to create definitely an IG page and a YouTube page for the podcast, because at the end of the day, I mean, listen, if this could lead to more than just like me making this a hobby, I would like that. I love talking, honestly. I love talking. It's one of the things where sometimes when I'm in the room, I gotta kind of shut up, just because I just want to keep talking. Met a lot of people like that, and I can understand how annoying it is. But wrong headsets. Let me 1 second. I'm gonna be able to make this beat real quick. We got plenty of time. Alright, so we got a couple minutes before I can even do that switch. But man, just like little things like that is what I'm definitely trying to work on. I definitely need to get a cut and stuff like that. Though I'm not balding. I think this is just how the light is hidden. But I'm definitely not balding. I got a lot of hair. I'm a hairy ass dude. So I don't know. I mean, my hair is a little thin in certain areas, like my hairline and stuff. So I gotta make sure that when my barber's cutting my hair, because my barber moved actually. So I mean, it's been a little rough finding like the right barber that can really touch it up the right way. You know what I mean? But whatever. I mean, we're not gonna get into that. So I mean, I guess I could start off by really saying like about me right now. What I do is I do cash advances. So I do merchant cash advances. Some people know it as MCAs. And then I hate this term when people call me a loan shark. Honestly, it boils my blood. It really does, because I'm just like, bro, shut up. You know what I mean? I find it like ignorant when people call me a loan shark. But for the most part, it's a great industry. I'm not, I feel like I've helped out a lot of people, as far as like in their businesses and stuff like that. But it's very, very stressful. It's intense. It's very competitive. It's cutthroat. It's like minute by minute, day to day. One day you 1 second yes, is next second no. I mean, the way to describe it, you really need to have some tough skin. I've been doing it for 5 years. The reason I got it even into it was one of my, long story short, pretty much. I was pretty much bouncing job to job. I mean, growing up, as a Hispanic, you're told, go to school, get a good job, this, that, and the third, right? So, give you a little breakdown. After high school, I did college for a little bit. Didn't really work out. I wasn't into it. I got involved with other, with a different lifestyle and things like that. That just pretty much like, I abandoned. I left the whole school thing. I tried coming back. It didn't really work out. Whatever. So come think, I was like, all right, what's something that's gonna make me some money at that time. I think this was like 2013, 2012 or something like that. So I Googled pretty much. I'm like, yo, what's gonna make? I'll never forget. I actually had a yeah, I think it was like a Galaxy 3 at the time. I had just gotten it. I'll never forget. And I'm on Google and I'm like, all right, what's the highest paying jobs that don't require, with a high school diploma or something like that? I had put. One of them was air traffic controller, which you needed like certificate, this, that, and the third. And then there were a couple other ones, but the ones that stuck with me was auto. I love cars. I like cars. You know what I'm saying? So, well, and we'll get into that later because I know how I said it was. I just got over it, honestly, from being in the car business so much. Not so much, but, from working in the car industry. And then what happened was, you know, so what happened from it so much was that it got to a point where it was my first, I guess, at that time. I think I was like, what, 20. I was probably like 22, 23, and at that time I was like, yo, let me just back away. Let me find a job, because it was I don't want to say a mom and pop shop. It was a pretty big dealership at the time, but um anyway, little personal situation going on. I mean, I'm fine. There's friends and stuff like that. Family, I guess. Family, really. Anyway, I don't even know where the hell I was at before I got that. But also, all right. So I told myself, at this time I'm living again. I'm living back at my mom's house, and I'm just saying, yo, I need a change. I was going down a bad path. I was drinking all the time. I was out partying. And then I was like, all right, let me get a job. I ended up getting a job for a corporate company. You know what I mean? And then what happened was, they offered like going back to school, reimbursements, this, that, and the third. I started doing it. I got cool with everybody over there, this, that. And, my plan was like, yo, let me really rock out. Parents were happy. It was like, oh, you got a job over at a corporate company, this, that, and the third. Spanish shit. And then, bottom line, I got over it. I got real bored of it. It wasn't my vibe. It wasn't my scene. Like, I can't be in corporate America. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't have you tell me when I'm gonna go to lunch. Really, that's really what drew that line right there. That I was just like, yo, I can't, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have another man tell me when I'm gonna go to lunch. This, that, and the third, whatever. I ended up going back to the car dealership, because the owner, which is also my boy, whatever. Um, he was like, yo, come back. He pitched me this whole idea, this and the third, yada, yada, yada. Didn't work out, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever. It didn't work out. And I say fortunately because you'll see where I get to it with this. Um, my boy, my other boy that I actually met because of the car dealership, he started doing the cash advances that I'm telling you guys. With it during that time, he was just, I think he was just starting. He already had a couple months under his belt, and he kept telling me like, "Oh, Rich, come through, come through, come through." And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come by, whatever, whatever." I didn't know. You know what I mean? So one day, I just got annoyed because I'm supposed to have this managerial position, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and then the money's just not there, and I'm just like, "Yo, bro, like this ain't it. This isn't it." So, and I knew, I was like, "Yo," my whole life I always felt like, "Yo, bro, like this just ain't it. Like I know there's something out there for me." So I pull up to his the office at the time. I go there, whatever he's telling me, I see it. I made some money the first day, which honestly we joke about it till this day about him finessing me into it. But whatever, I mean, it worked out, I guess. And I never really went in there with the intentions of like, this is gonna be, life changing or exposing. I just really went in there with the intentions like, yo, my boy, he's gonna pay me a little bit of dough here and there. I thought I was gonna make the same amount of money that I was at the dealership. At that time, at the dealership, I wasn't making jack, man. I was probably making like, if I was making 3K, maybe 4, maybe not even. So I was like, all right, whatever. Boom. I pull up on him. I was like, yo, honestly, bet, yo, like I don't care. I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm living in my mom's living room. You know what I mean? Like I'm living. She has a bed in the living room type shit. So I just ended up going out there, and it was out in New Rochelle. It was funny because, the commute was crazy. Every day, he would pick me up, or I'd have to like meet him somewhere, or my dad would drop me off, because we were pretty much just going over there, and then pretty much how that ended up turning out to be was that, little by little we just kept growing and growing. They started making some money, putting some money away. We moved into an office closer into the city now, but the commute was still hell. I thought honestly it was gonna be, I'd be like, so I made a joke. I was like, yo, realtors be like, yeah, you could be in the city in 10-15 minutes. Bro, don't believe them realtors that say you'll be in the city in 10 or 15 minutes. It's not true. It's never true. Anybody that tells me that they've gotten there in 10 minutes, bro, like, let me know, because I highly doubt it. So whatever. I mean, we was barely making money. I was making I was making good money at the time. Well, a little bit more money than what I was at the car dealership. So things were going good. I was able to get myself like an apartment. And then I was making decent amount of money to just keep me flowing, keep me going, keep me doing what I had to do, save up some money, buy furniture, things like that. What happened after that? We pretty much moved into another office, bigger office. At this time, we ended up getting more people, and I was just vibing with it, because at that time, really the perks was I was only working Monday to Friday. Now, for me, that was a big thing, because coming from the industry, the car industry, it's like, bro, I felt like I was working every day. So I was like, bet, I'm making a little bit more money than I was at the dealership, and I'm only working Monday to Friday. So I was cool with the commute. It wasn't that bad. The bus station was right outside. The only thing that was annoying was getting across the city from Port Authority. But from there, the pandemic hit a couple, like probably 2 years after that, maybe a year and a half after that or something like that. So when that happened, we were all working from home. Bro, when I tell you, I was living at another spot actually, by the way. But when that hit, bro, I really got fucked up, and I mean fucked up. I was making no money. I think the only thing that saved me, honestly, was one deal towards the end of the year that just ended. I started working it during the pandemic. I had no clue what the fuck I was doing, and I ended up just just pushing. I had nothing else to do, and I really I was like, yo, I'm gonna stick here. I'm gonna stick here. I'm gonna stick here. Just me being hard headed and not exploring more other options. I didn't have money. I went out to Florida with one of my boys and my other boy. We was out there just trying to make things happen. It just wasn't popping off like that. And then when we got back, they ended up getting an office out here. And then when we got back, we started like working again a little bit. And then the money, once the pandemic got towards the end of the year, I want to say that's when shit just like took off. 2021 took off. I made good. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. What saved me that end of that year was that one deal. It was literally that one deal that saved me. You know what I mean? I had to owe my girl some dough. I had no money. But that was the one deal that saved me. And then, things just started picking up after that. I was able to get into like a nicer, a way nicer spot within those 2 months. And this is also the thing about like financially literacy. Because I'm not saying I did a mistake by doing it, but sometimes I could have gotten caught up. Luckily, but I could have gotten caught up in the jam by not being prepared. Because I got that, right? I was able to pretty much just like backtrack on everything that I had done, this, that, and the third throughout that time to pretty much catch up with things. Luckily, I didn't have no credit cards at the time. My credit was shit. So I ended up moving to another spot, nicer spot, bigger spot where I'm at right now, actually. 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, whatever. And from there, so from there, whatever, working, I started making stupid dough. Well, not stupid dough, but really good money. So I started making really, really good money. I want to say probably like no less than like 15 a month, I want to say. This year I was fucking ripping it. Last month I had a slow month. But pretty much, I don't know, man, something. So even though, I was making the money, all this was great. I was partying. I was like, buying things. I was able to do whatever I really wanted to do with no problem. I got my credit fired. I find myself back in square one after all is said and done by poor planning, poor decision making. And just something hit me a couple months back because I kind of just felt something, but I wasn't addressing it at the time. And it was this same thing because my plan was always, yo, Rich, there's a higher calling for you, in my opinion, in my world. So now that all this stuff has happened or is happening, I'm just like, oh shoot, let me set back. Let me rewind this real quick. Let me figure out how I can, how to do this real quick. So with that being said, that's why I kind of want to be able to explore all these other things that I say that I want to do. As far as like talking about healthy habits, I joined the gym recently right around the corner, which luckily thanks to my cousin, I've been taking it a lot more serious than what I've probably ever really taken it. You know what I mean? Last week I slacked off a little bit, but I had to compose myself again this week, where it's like, yo, bro, get back on track, push myself, and luckily I felt way better. I was really actually yesterday, before I did the first failed attempt of the podcast, I had like a headache. I wasn't really in the mood. I was being very negative. So I was like, you know what? Let me go to the gym. I went to the gym, just trying to get out of that. I hit the bags a couple times because that's one of the ways I like to relieve my stress is by hitting the punching bag and the speed bag and things like that. Because it just like, I guess like, I don't know, it humbles me in a way. You know what I mean? Because you're never going to win with a bag, right? Then I did some legs, whatever. I came home, I set up, I was in a better mood. Today I woke up in a way better mood. also the things that you eat really set your mood. So, like, for example, I had a turkey, bacon, egg, and cheese earlier today, and since I'm not really used to eating like that in the morning, I'm just like I even feel like my breathing is off. but um but yeah, I mean, just like things like that. So that's one of my experiences, and I mean, I could get into details about it, but that's really what it is, man. I just want to be more educated. I want to be more, again. This is also one of the things that has motivated me to pretty much figure out multiple sources of income, which I always have, like, I don't want to say these plans because I never really like outline it or anything, but I always have these ideas that I never go into effect. So with that, like things like that, eventually, they get to me, and it's like, again, I'm like about I hold a lot of emotions within, even though you can, I really don't, because they're just like spilling out of me. But then I just pop, you know what I mean? So I always have like these ideas of like businesses I don't want to do things, but I never take any action on them, right? So with that being said, this is one of the ideas that I'm starting to take action on, to pretty much, just not only get out of my comfort zone, but be able to, um, you know, just explore the options. There's a lot of ways of making money nowadays. I mean, people are doing it. I always tell everybody, yo, you could become a millionaire selling hot dogs. You know what I mean? Um, if I have to do it the traditional way, the new way, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, my objective is I don't need to be a millionaire. I just want to be able to live a comfortable life and have time on my hands and be able to, have experiences, focus on my health, enjoy delicious foods, have knowledge on a lot of things. You know what I mean? And make a change, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to make a change. Like, if people can be like, yo, Rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're really helping me out with, whatever it is that I'm spitting, then shit. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's something. You know what I mean? Um, I don't want to just be the guy that's making money, this, that, and the third. Like, that shit to me is corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. You'll definitely be the man in the room, but there's more to life than just that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. With that being said, I mean, what I gotta do now is, obviously, aside from edit the video, I mean, I gotta focus on creating these pages, practice a little bit here on my setup, um, and then pretty much just take it from there. I got my boy actually calling me right now. So with that being said, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys on the next one.